Real Housewives of Potomac star Monique Samuels is telling it all when it comes to her ex, Chris Samuels, what is happening currently on the season, and what we need to know about Cookie. And apparently, there's a lot to know.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So, I've seen a lot of things about Monique Samuels over the last few weeks. And one of the stories was about her apparently having an affair with a married man. But I'm so glad I followed my instincts and ignored it. Because first of all, the video footage was coming out from a page that seemed like they were incessant in regards to slamming Monique. You could just tell that they were just doing this to come at Monique's character because it just really came out of nowhere. Even though I had heard rumors about this alleged affair months ago. And you could also tell from the video footage, it wasn't anything recent. And even if it was, she's a single woman. Well, now she's clearing up some of that information. Let's first start off with her talking about Chris Samuels and what's going on when it comes to their relationship. She spilled a lot of tea. Monique, if I had known you were in New York City, I would have said, girl, let's sit down for an interview, because she's telling it all in multiple interviews. So let's unpack some of this, and we're going to do this under fair use. So I will be stopping and going because you know how that goes on YouTube.
Recently, these pictures and videos emerged of you and your former co-host,
Yes.
Jason, and it looked like you guys were hugged up, and people were like, oh, he's married. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So what was that all about?
So first, it's so much, and I'm gonna unpack it as easily and as neatly as possible. So when I was going through the divorce, I was separated but still living in the same house. Jason and I were like great friends. Like we never spent any time outside the studio, nothing like that. As I was going,
Can I just say this? I don't think there's anything happening with her and Jason anymore. But just the video footage, I was like, they actually make a really handsome couple. But that's just me. I mean, my follow-up question, and maybe she answered this in some of the interviews because I haven't watched them at the full length. What happened? Did it just not work out?
through the whole divorce process, the separation, everything like that, he was giving me this advice that I was like, you have to have been through something to be able to give me this type of advice. We started to have like an amazing friendship outside of work. And I started to learn some things about what he was going through.
Mm-hmm.
So we connected on that level, him being separated, living in the same house, but people not knowing because obviously he's not, out there like that in reality TV space. Mine was more public.
Right.
And it was a friendship that was genuinely a friendship that turned very emotionally connected, and then it turned romantic.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason this video is out there right now is because my ex-husband actually leaked it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Boom. So follow this, pay attention to this, because I feel like I believe her. Because she also talks about, in this interview, the fallout with Cookie and where that stems from. So I do find it interesting that Chris Samuels is so close with Cookie and he's always texting with Cookie.
Yeah, so that's
What?
T. Like legit, he has been showing this video to everybody. And the bigger question is, how did he get it?
So
Right.
off the cloud.
The cloud.
No, he actually got it from a former friend of mine who, when you go through divorce, you lose some friends, you lose some family.
Mhm.
It
Pick my job.
Okay, look, I know girlfriends share a lot of different things, but some of the video footage that they were sending, I'm like, I wouldn't be sending this to my friend, but I'm different. I understand this. I understand some of you have some really tight friends and you're probably happy, like, girl, look at me and my man. But sidebar, because we're gonna be straight shooters. Pow, 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 pow. Why does it feel like Monique falls out with a lot of friends? Can we just say that? I'm not saying I'm on anyone's side, but I think it's important to note. Just saying.
blew my mind. So
I
for
can't
whatever
believe
reason,
that.
for whatever reason, this particular former friend, we were cool. And then it was just like, and she was the only person that I was sharing this
Stuff with.
information
Yeah.
with, her and my mom. And she ended up giving it to him, and he used it as an intimidation tactic because he did not want me back on reality TV. He's afraid of my book coming out. So he has been showing it. So people like in a reality TV world.
So here's the thing. And I know I've said this about Monique, especially when she talked about her relationship with Chris. And I told you Love and Marriage DC did not make her look great or her look like the innocent party in their relationship. But now I'm kind of looking at Chris with the side eye. And maybe because she decided to leave him, and that's why he's so upset. And it also explains his reaction when Charisse called him, and he was like, I don't know what y'all talking about at all. It seems like he was frustrated. And based off the text message that Stacey revealed in this past week's episode to Monique about, oh, I heard I'm being brought up during filming. So...
social media, they think they know who he is, but he's a completely different person. Thanks to me, people think that he is what he is.
Right, because you wanted the family life to appear perfect.
Yeah,
you
did a good job at that, by the way.
Thank you.
And
but
even,
it's to my
detriment.
You know what?
To my detriment.
It's so interesting because I feel like you've taken, even in this book, it's not like you dragged him at all. There was a couple of truths that you have that I feel like you express in a way that you weren't blaming him.
Is the book out? I guess this is why she's out here promoting. I don't even know about the book. I didn't see the book. I guess maybe she's sending it to people to read before it comes out. I'm interested. I don't know if I'm interested in reading a book about their life, about Monique's life. That's the thing about some housewives. We haven't seen enough of you to be that interested in what your story is. But I'm not saying it's not an interesting story. I would want to hear more because sometimes people's personal story is far more fascinating and more revealing than what was shared on their reality show.
For the way that things transpired. It was just that he was never going to be the person that you thought he would grow to be.
Yes. A lot of times women marry potential and men marry and want to stay the same, you know, and it was that mixed up. And I was like, look, it's not fair for me to keep you in this position. Like, be who you are, but who you are is just not where I want to be anymore. I'm evolving, I'm growing. So it just got really nasty recently.
I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. So there's a friend that's been on the show, Cookie. She and I stopped talking years ago.
The infamous Cookie child. You know,
I saw Cookie.
She was in and out of that party. Listen, and it's really interesting because it initially got leaked on one of her very well-known fake Twitter pages.
Boom. What you mean well known? Well, we're going to unpack that a little bit more because apparently she's been trolling for a long time.
I can't believe you're back on this show, girl.
I know.
It's so much already.
So much came out. But you know what's crazy? He tried to use that video to intimidate me from coming back. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Whatever. Like, do what you want to do.
Wow.
So it was all.
Now I believe that. Okay, Monique. I believe you. Because it makes sense. Because when the video came out, I was just like, somebody obviously does not want Monique on the show or is really mad at Monique. But I'm glad she's telling her story. I'm glad she's calling him out because I was confused. I was like, so who hates Monique this much? And I was trying to understand the dynamic between Chris and Cookie.
It's like, then it was like, well, I ain't gonna do that. You the mother of my child. I ain't gonna do that. You still the mother of my children. But then he still did it. But then he was even intimidating the other parties. Reached out on Instagram DMs, like, call me, I need to talk. And then threatening, I'm going to put this out on social media. So this wasn't a surprise.
Oh my gosh.
It was just, didn't know when. But it wasn't. And the video is 2 years old.
2 years old.
Right.
Yeah. So,
yeah, because I saw that's what people were saying. So he was going through his own separation at home.
Right.
While you were going through what you were going through.
Right.
That is wild.
Yeah, that is definitely wild. Here's the thing. I told you when I saw the video, and I brought it up to you guys because I saw it was circulating on social media. But I even told you just based off her hair, I was like, this is old footage. Not to say that that clears her of anything, but I'm glad she's speaking about it because based on how Monique is describing the situation, it makes complete sense. When we start piecing the puzzle together, speaking of piecing the puzzle together, Cookie has been getting it a lot since last week's episode. Just when she thought that she was in the clear, no, people are still talking about Cookie this week and not the way that she wants them to be talking about them. Sidebar, I'm going to work on a new Club Kempire episode. For those that don't know what that is our Apple Podcast paid subscription. You guys want a juicy episode? How about I read to you the DM that Cookie sent me? I'm gonna give y'all a good juicy episode. I can't promise it'll be today, but I'm gonna give y'all a good juicy episode, and I'm gonna talk about a couple of things, not just cookie related, some pop culture news. You might want to know a little tea about The Boy Is Mine as well, right? The Boy Is Mine tour. Oh, we'll talk. Become a Club Kempire baddie today. Okay? All right. So Jamie Tyler, you remember Jamie Tyler from Love and Marriage DC? Well, you know our sources in the DMV are deep. And Jamie is now revealing. Here's the thing about the DMV area. It's not really big, but it feels so small because it feels like everyone knows everyone. Well, Jamie Tyler was in the comments section talking about Cookie because apparently he knows Cookie too. And remember, Jamie was a former police officer, so immediately I was like, wait, did he arrest her before? She has a rap sheet. She does. And look, it's from many, many years ago. At least the things she's been convicted for. So, fine. So Jamie says this. I've been quiet about this topic for 2 years now, and I'm so glad that the psychopath has finally been blasted in public by other reality TV fans and talent. Sidebar, I did see that a few ex-users and bloggers have been showing posts from this apparent account that Cookie had on X and how they've been having conversations with her over the years, allegedly. So Jamie continues and says, we already knew it was her when it happened, but the former detective in me wanted that hardcore evidence from a private investigator at the time. Now, 2 years later, she has popped up on RHOP being pressed and messy once again for fame and clout and starting ish with the cast members she hates on their show and still running fake troll pages on social media trying to ruin people's image and families. Well, I want to thank Monique for blasting her and exposing how fake and scandalous that woman truly is. Be careful who you call, quote, a friend on these DC streets. But here's the thing. This is something that we need to keep in mind. Look who Cookie is coming through on this show this season. And I know some of you will be like, Kempire, you just don't like Giselle. There's a reason why I always give Giselle the side eye. Look who's brought Cookie to our cameras this season. Look who's been constantly trying to find an issue with someone. So when they say that Stacey did this or did that or went back and told Chris what Monique said, really? They've been trying to get at Stacey this entire season. So I don't trust Ashley. I don't trust Kiarna. Oh, Kiarna did a recent interview too with Claudia Jordan. We're not talking about it because her voice already was screeching. I listened to it. Ain't nothing that y'all need. Because here's the thing, Kiarna. We still, even after that interview, when you do not have cameras up and you can't be edited or filtered, you still cannot tell us the issues that you have with Dr. Wendy Acefo. I'm not doing a separate video on it. I'm not talking about it anymore. I will just tell you this. Even after her talking about this in the interview, we still have no idea what the issue was. Oh, you came in as Dr. Wendy's friend, even though you guys weren't that close, and she had no other friends on the cast, so that's why you were her friend. Okay, but what was the issue? Because she didn't show up? You're a brat. That's it. I think even Giselle said it this season. You are a brat. She didn't call you a brat, but basically she said you're a high-maintenance friend. Because I don't know what you expected from Dr. Wendy. And I'm not saying Dr. Wendy is the bestest of friends or the best person. However, you still have not shown us the real reason why you are so pressed by Dr. Wendy this season or why you're so pressed by Stacey. She hasn't done anything to you. If she had slept with your man, lied on you, or I could understand. But none of it. It's a reach so that you guys can have a flute. But back to this, because my elephant brain is working. So remember how Cookie even had screen time this season? It's because of Giselle Bryant. Oh, don't tell me Giselle is up to her reindeer games again. Careful with her, Monique. Careful. Just saying. If she's aligning herself with this woman that you say you can't trust and got involved in your marriage. Just saying. Let's get to the next clip from Monique that she did with our friends over at Page 6. Because she spills a little bit more tea on Cookie.
But I feel like a lot of heat is on Stacey because Stacey don't care.
She really doesn't
care.
It's magical.
She's great TV. I enjoy watching her. She's funny. She's beautiful. And it's just funny to watch how she they make these big deals and they come at her with from little stuff to major stuff. And she's just like, okay, all right, so.
Or just like
whatever.
pointing.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that now, look, Monique being on her side, Wendy being on her side, I could see this trifecta next season. But we still need to make some changes when it comes to this cast. Bye, Angel. Bye, Kiarna. The sad duo can go. You're going to have to go anyway because there's no room in the budget. Let's be honest. There's no room in the budget. Karen Huger is coming back next season. Okay? Kiarna also talked about, I saw another clip, where she talks about not having Karen there sort of to help guide her. And so, oh my God, you are so unlikable. I think you got your head filled because people said, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. You are beautiful, but inside you're not. Let's get back to this.
She pointed her finger and kept pointing her finger. That was crazy. You probably love to see that because she was pointing at Cookie, right?
She was.
You really don't. You don't like Cookie. We don't.
It's not that I don't like her. I don't trust her, and she's a person who I cut off along with my ex-husband while we were still married. So she was spreading all kinds of rumors saying that she was having an affair with Chris years ago.
Is she?
So I don't understand how Chris has now aligned himself with Cookie unless she's just there to do his dirty work, and that's the only reason why he communicates with her. Why would you befriend? Because remember, it's not as if Monique and Chris are no longer co-parenting. They still have to be able to communicate, which she had said on the show is a nightmare. I don't understand why you would align yourself with a woman that lied on you and said that you guys were having some sort of affair. Not that anyone would believe it. Look at Monique. And look, we do realize, look, even Beyonce got cheated on. But with Cookie?
Loser! Yes. So
Cookie.
Chris, yes. And she told
He's in the
people,
cookie jar.
Wait, she made that up? There was no truth to it?
So she was telling people that she was having an affair with my ex-husband, who was my husband at the time. And she said the only reason he was staying is because of the kids. She would tell people these things. And then we found out. Me and him called her, put her on speakerphone, and we said, listen, we're not fooling with you. We just had a crazy situation with a former friend, and the people who have told us this are credible people. We don't know why you're saying this, but we're done. So to my surprise, I come around and they're like, yeah, Chris and Cookie. I'm like, wait, what is happening?
Was
Why
it
is he talking
surprising
to
to
her?
you that he still messes with her?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was completely caught off guard, and I did not know. I didn't understand how this connection happened again.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, why is Chris calling Cookie? Why? I don't know.
Do all the ladies know that she's did that?
I told most of them.
Because it's kind of confusing how they would still then hold Cookie as this like truth teller.
They didn't know until after. Yeah, so they didn't know until after because they were asking me like, well, what's your issue with Cookie? Y'all used to be cool.
And here's the other element that we're not thinking about. Cookie is friends with Karen. Apparently, they said that Cookie's best friends. Here's the thing. Cookie also apparently claimed to be the daughter of the godfather of whatever down there. So I'm trying to understand first of all, why Karen would even associate herself with Cookie. But I'm also trying to understand why any of them would want to associate themselves with Cookie at this particular point. Or maybe they don't anymore.
Cool. And I was like, okay, well, I'll tell you what the issue is. And
Yeah.
I'm so confused as to why he is cool with all the people that I literally parted ways with years ago while we were still in a marriage, who did things to both of us.
Right.
You know, so it was just very interesting for me. And I'm coming in blind with all of this. So when they were asking about, you know, Cookie, I was like, I don't trust her because she lies. Yeah. And I don't trust him because he lies. And apparently Stacey lies too. So where's the truth?
No, come on. No, not Stacey catching strays. Here's the thing. I've yet to see, no, we've seen a couple little minor lies, but none of the lies that Stacey has told affects these women. They're choosing to allow it to affect them to a point where they want to isolate and alienate Stacey from the group. I don't know, but I'm appreciating Monique sharing her truth. Kiarna, you could learn a thing or two. This is how now we have a better understanding of why Monique has the position that she has when it comes to Chris Samuels, when it comes to Cookie. We still don't understand where you're coming from. And at this particular point, no one cares. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on what Monique had to say when it comes to Cookie, when it comes to Chris Samuels, when it comes to the allegations that she had an affair, everything. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.